Brian Grimes, your real estate mentor, back with another action-packed session. Today, we're going to be giving away the top 5 landlord secrets for doubling your rental income on your rental property. So, a special session because there are a lot of mistakes that you will make early in this game. I made a lot of these mistakes that we're going to go through first, and it just costs you a lot of money. So, I want you guys to avoid that. If you're new to the channel, like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment that says I subscribed. For everyone who leaves that comment, I'll send you instant access to a new training that we put together. It'll show you exactly how to scale to the next level and how to get value out of this game. We have a bunch of programs. We have the Boots on the Ground program where we find, finance, rehab, tenant, and manage properties for you. If you're interested in that, just DM me Boots on the Ground. We always will only have like a few spots available at any given time. We just had somebody tap in today. So we're kind of out of spots for this month, realistically. But reach out if you're interested. You can get on that waiting list and get tapped in. We just did our last real estate ride along tour this past Saturday. So we had about 17, maybe 18 people out to spend a day with me in Philly touring different properties. We'll drop some footage on that coming up, but you guys see a lot of that on the IG anyway. But definitely a good day. Saw a lot of projects and added a lot of value there. And then we have our community group. If you just want to get access to the course content that we have and join our community, we have private money lenders. We have real estate investors, not just me, because everybody sees me as like the talking head, but we have real estate investors who are tapped in, who are doing deals all over the country. And like every state, the state that you're in, deals are happening. And being in a part of a community where you can network with other investors who are doing this right now, it can make the difference. Also getting access, like I said, to those lenders, the contractors, all these different relationships. We have it in our community group. You can just click the link in the description or DM me if you're on IG. Just DM me CashFlow. I'll send you a link to our community group and you can tap in. So guys, I want to get into this session, the top 5 landlord secrets to double your rental income. It's I mean, doubling your rental income and with some of these strategies is 100% possible. So make sure you implement these strategies. But first, let's talk about the mistakes. And guys, if you're getting value, like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment that says I subscribe, share the content with someone else who you want to get value. So here are the common mistakes that we will all make along the journey. You don't have to make these mistakes because I'm just going to give them to you. The first one is just pricing your product too low. So you get into this game and you're like, you're nervous on your first deal. You're afraid to do real estate. You're afraid of your first deal. My biggest fear was like that the house was just going to fall over and just blow over or just burn down. Those were like my biggest fears that I could come up with at the time. But part of that fear drives you to want to just tenant quickly when you get a property. I just want to get it filled. I want to tenant it. I want to prove that this is real. And that will lead to you doing things like pricing too low. So I did this for my first several deals. I priced my rentals lower than market. So I would go and search to see what the market rentals were. And then I would come in maybe like $200 or maybe like $150 below market. And that was a good strategy to me at the time because I tenanted quickly. In dropping my price below market, I would always get a lot of hits. I would list my properties on like Zillow or Craigslist, some of those different like apartments.com, and I would get a lot of hits. I would get a lot of bodies out to come see it because they're always price shoppers. I always knew that about just kind of like sales philosophy. There are always price shoppers out there. So I would price low. And what happens over the course of time, part of this pricing low is not increasing your rents either. You end up just getting less money than you should be getting. So pricing yourself below market, you will tenant faster, but you should truly test the market, have some patience, and get the price that is at or maybe even slightly above market because your cash flow is going to increase. You shouldn't shortchange yourself in this game. And then you should also, which is another derivative of this pricing issue, increasing your rents annually. This is another mistake. You should be increasing your rents annually by like 2% a year or more. That's going to allow you to increase your rents substantially over the course of time. So if I showed you a chart of just a 2% annual increase on your rents, your rents will double over the course of time. If you just stick to that, just increasing your rents with the market. So watch market rents every year and then inflate your rents. Don't be afraid to do it. When you're new, you're kind of afraid to do it. You don't want to rock the boat with the tenant. But I would be increasing my rents by at least $25 to $50 per month per year, every year. So if the rent is $1,650 this year, next year $1,700, the next year $1,750. And another reason why you need to inflate your rents is because your property taxes will go up. Most of the time your property taxes don't go down. So if your taxes are going up, you need something to offset that. And what's going to offset that is you increasing your rent. So don't underprice yourself, and then make sure you're doing your rent increases. Mistake number 2 is ignoring upgrades. So another thing that will happen when you're new, you watch a lot of Property Brothers, you're watching HGTV, and you're like, oh, I know how to become a successful real estate investor. I need to go into the properties and I'm going to save certain things, and I'm going to pick this line item and I'm going to keep that, but save the trim. Don't replace the window. We're just going to TLC it. And you start trying to do all these things to the property, but you're ignoring the ability to upgrade. The best time to rehab your property is while it's vacant, while no one is living in it. That's the best time to go in and put a heavy renovation. That's why we love the burst strategy, not only because of like the ability to cash out refi and all the big tax losses and all the other things that come along with the burst strategy, but just the ability to value add the property, to make the property durable, to go in and upgrade it. When you upgrade it, you can charge better rents. So you instantly go to top of market on rent. You can get more money, but then the property is durable. It's not breaking down. So I've seen more people try to cut corners, not upgrade the property. They end up not getting premium rents because you left the drop ceilings, you left the old dirty carpet, you left all these things in the property that make it unattractive. And then the property is constantly breaking down. You also left behind those walls cast iron plumbing that's going to leak, crack, and just leak all through the ceilings and destroy your property. And it's very difficult. What happens is you don't avoid the rehab. You end up rehabbing the property while someone is living in it. And that's very difficult. You have to coordinate with them, their dog, their cat, their job. It's just like a nightmare. So you'd rather do it before they get in. And then once they're in, it's mailbox money. Your property's at the top of the market. You can increase your rents annually, and it makes sense. And if anybody leaves, you can just move somebody else in very quickly. So making your property durable is a big key. Don't make that mistake. Don't ignore upgrades. Don't try to cut corners. In fact, in order to cut corners, you need to be extremely sophisticated. You are not sophisticated enough as a new real estate investor to know what can be kept and saved versus what has to go. You're much better off with a more of a cookie cutter approach of everything must go. It's a liquidation. It's all got to go. Get this property down to the studs, rebuild it, rewire it, replumb it, and just pick deals where you can put a heavy budget into them. A heavy budget is maybe like, I would say on a 1,500 square foot house, maybe 70, 80K. That's going to be a budget where you can get a lot done. So don't ignore those. And then the last one is the wrong strategy, just having the wrong rental strategy in general. So having the wrong rental strategy can really hurt you. When I got in, I was just doing market rents. I didn't understand Section 8. I knew what it was. I had a buddy who was doing Section 8, but I didn't fully understand it at a level where I was able to navigate it. And I was talking to, realtors and different people, but they also don't know much. You will find that out in this game. If you lean too heavily on a realtor, the honest ones will just tell you, I don't know. I don't know what rehab costs. I don't know anything. I just know how to do these transactions and get these commissions. So picking the wrong strategy could leave money on the table. If I knew about veteran housing, Section 8, co-living, some of the strategies we'll talk about in just a second, my rental income would have been through the moon when I first got started, and I would have made substantially more money and more consistently. My collection rate would have been much higher. So avoid these 3 mistakes. You'll be much more successful along the way. Guys, if you're getting value, like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment that says I subscribe, and share the content with someone else who you want to get value. If you're on IG and you want to get access to our community, just DM me CashFlow. I'll send you a link to our community group where you can get access to the course content, but also the community aspect. Trying to do this game alone, very difficult when you're first getting started. You have so many questions. You also need to see proof. You need to see other people doing it, not just somebody like me. I've done, 300-400 deals. You need to see other people who are at the starting block, who are like, yeah, I got started 2 years ago. I'm up to 15 houses. You need to experience that, because that'll give you more confidence than even seeing me have done, hundreds and hundreds of deals over a decade. You need to see the people that are just getting this done, and you need to be able to network with them as well, and also have access to a network, architects, engineers, contractors, lenders, private money lenders. You need all of these tools on your tool belt if you're going to be successful. Or you can go at it alone and try to dig through the school of YouTube University, but the information is not condensed enough. There's not enough action plans. There's no ability to Q&A. You're not going to truly get ahead. So reach out. If you're on YouTube and you want to tap in, click the link in the description, and you can tap into our community group. It's only $27 to join, by the way. There's no mystery to it. You can tap in for $27. I put a price on it. I tell people all the time I would make it free, but I don't want window shoppers. I don't want tire kickers in the group. I want the right people in the group. And believe it or not, by just putting a $27 ticket on the group, you can keep out a whole bunch of people who probably don't belong in. Because if you're not going to invest even $27 into your education, you're not serious about real estate. It's not that you're skeptical. You probably are. It's not that you don't believe that this is real or that I've done deals. It's not all of that. It's just that you're not serious about it. Because if you were, you would understand that $27 is like, it's a joke in this game. It's an extreme joke. An appraisal on a property is $500 to $750, $500 to $750. $27 is nothing. So if you can't pull the trigger on that, you can't pull the trigger on a deal. It's not about analysis. It's not about studying. It's not about being in a good market. A lot of people cannot pull the trigger on a deal because they can't write the check. They can't write the check. A lot of people have never spent $30,000 on anything. So when you're going to do a deal and you got to come to the table with $30,000 down, you don't have the muscle for that. And it's like a gym muscle almost. You have to get in the rhythm of that. But it's like if you went to the gym and tried to bench press 400 pounds, your chest would collapse. For some of you, that's what it feels like. That's what writing a $30,000 or $40,000 check on your first duplex feels like. You're like, man, I just unloaded 40K. I've never done that before. It's a different feeling, but it is a muscle that you're building. If you do it once, you'll be strong enough to do it again. The next time you could write an $80,000 or $100,000 check, and you just need that muscle to get further in this game. But a lot of people can't write a $27 check on their own real estate education. So it just, to me, so somebody like me lets me know like they're not ready, because I'll stroke that ticket all day. I mean, I'm in New York. I'll spend $27 on lunch. Like it's not because I want to, just because it is what it is. That's how much they're charging. Let's get into these 5 secrets, guys. If you're getting value, like, comment, subscribe. Leave a comment that says I subscribe. Drop your questions in the chat. If you guys have questions about anything real estate related, we'll answer them as we're going through. So here are the 5 secrets. Number 1, the first secret is Section 8 and other government forms of rental. So if you want to really boost your rental income, you need to look into the government programs, starting with Section 8. Section 8, how much more rent can you get? Well, I was talking to somebody over the weekend. They said, well, Brian, how much would this 5-bed rent for on the market? I said, maybe about $1,600, $1,700. How much will it rent for Section 8? About $2,600, $2,800. You can get an extreme premium. You can get $1,000 a month more of cash flow on the same asset, the same 4 or 5 bedroom property, by going with Section 8 versus the market. Is Section 8 slower than market rentals? Yes. Are there more hoops to jump through? Certainly. Is the rent collection rate higher? Very much higher. Is it more durable during a recession? Absolutely. It's 10 times more durable than a market rental during a recession. It makes a lot of sense. The average tenant stays for 5 to 8 years. In most cities, if somebody gets evicted from Section 8, they get kicked out of the program. So if they're on Section 8 and you file eviction for non-payment, they get kicked out of Section 8. So their fear factor is higher than somebody who's a market tenant. So it puts you in a driver's seat to control your income, get a premium to rent, and then have a lot of guarantees and assurances as well. And the government is typically paying somewhere between 70 to 100% of the rent. So that puts you in the driver's seat as well. So Section 8, I would not overlook it. Don't worry about the stigma from the 90s, early 2000s. Oh, they're going to trash my house. Well, that sounds good until you have a market tenant trash your house. Because just because you're broke or have money, it doesn't determine how you live. There are people with a lot of money who live dirty. There are people with no money who live extremely clean. You could eat off the floor. So all it takes for that belief system to be broken is for a market tenant to destroy your house. or they're kids. It's mostly not the adults. It's usually the kids. So for them to trash your house, and then you'll be like, well, damn, I should have took the extra $1,000 a month in cash flow. I would have been better off. So look into that. Look into the veteran housing as well. If you had a triplex with 3 1-bed units, well, the veterans, they love the 1-bed units. They like to live alone. The vets, they like to live near hospitals. Find out where the veteran hospitals are in your city. They're pretty much in every community to a degree, and you can buy housing around there. You can rent out to the veterans, and they pay 100% of the rent. There's not really a variation on a veteran voucher. They pay 100% of the rent. They'll have caps and maximums, but they're also pretty inflated. They're pretty high. So always look into your government programs. If you're somewhere like Delaware, they have about 8 government programs outside of Section 8. Maybe the most I've seen for a municipality is in most parts of Delaware. So if you're in Delaware, I would look there. Somebody says Sacramento, California. The only problem with Sacramento, California is you're in California and the landlord tenant laws are horrendous. Most of our clients from California are looking for ways to invest out of state in cheaper markets. You have 2 issues in California. The real estate is extremely expensive. And then the landlord tenant laws are horrendous. So if you have to evict, it's going to take a year in a lot of areas. If you're in a market like Philly, Baltimore, you can evict in 90 days or so. The other thing with Section 8, if I file eviction, since we're talking about it, if I file eviction on Section 8, on a Section 8 tenant, Section 8 keeps paying. So even if I file the eviction on the tenant, let's say the tenant was paying $30 a month and they stopped paying for 3 months and I just wanted to file. I didn't like them or something. And the government's paying $1,900 a month. Total rent $1,930. If I file eviction on the tenant for the $30, Section 8 keeps paying the $1,900. So you're actually getting paid during an eviction with a government rental. With a market rental, if they stop paying, you're done. Like you're not getting anything, no cash flow. So there are a lot of reasons to consider these things. Number 2, and guys, if you're getting value, like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment that says I subscribed, share the content with someone who you want to get value. If you're interested in any of our programs, the Boots on the Ground program, where we find, finance, rehab, tenant, and manage properties for you. So we build rental properties or buy and flip deals for you. You own them 100%. You keep all the profits. If you're interested in that, just reach out, DM me, Boots on the Ground. Drop a comment that says Boots on the Ground. We have our community group. You can click the links in the description, tap into the community group on YouTube, or if you're on IG, just DM me CashFlow. And then we have, I don't know what our next ride along tour is going to be. We just did that one this weekend. Maybe it'll be like sometime in May, early June or late May. I'll probably do another ride along. If I don't do it then it won't be till the end of the year. But I know a lot of people, they want to get out. They don't want to wait that long. So reach out about any of those programs. And then drop any questions you have in the chat, in the comment section, and we'll answer any questions as you go. Co-living. A lot of people come to me for co-living because I'm one of the pioneers of co-living. I might be the pioneer of co-living in Philly, realistically. I don't know anyone else who's really doing it. And co-living is where you would it's a full gut rehab strategy. It's where you will take a single family rental property, let's say a 3-bed, 1-bath, and I'm going to turn it into a 3-bed, 3-bath. So I'm going to full gut rehab this property. This is a great strategy if you're buying properties from the auction. So if you're going to the auction, buying shells for 30, 40K that need a lot of work, if you're going to full gut them anyway, you can full gut them into whatever you want. So this is rethinking the property, which we'll talk about a little bit later in this section. But I will take a 3-bed, 1-bath, and I will break it into a series of master suites. So the only way to get to the bathroom is through the bedroom, and I'll build 3 of those into a 3-bed, 1-bath, 1,200 square foot property. So what I do with the rents is I take a property that would rent for $1,250 a month as a 3-bed, 1-bath. Each co-living unit, because I turned it into co-living and I just have a shared kitchen, there's no living room, I can rent out each co-living unit for maybe a $200 undercut of the studio market within the area. So now I'm let's say studios are renting for $1,000 a month. I can charge $800 a month for co-living. So if I have 3 of those units, 800, 800, 800, that's $2,400 a month versus $1,250. I almost doubled my rent on that move. That's basically a doubling of rent. Going from single family 3 bed, 1 bath to co-living, 3 bed, 3 bath. So co-living is a very powerful strategy. One of the cons with co-living, and in terms of management of a, 3 co-living people living in one property, is no different than managing a triplex, in my opinion. Sometimes easier because there's less of a footprint and there's no common area anyway. People are essentially just living in their bedroom. If you did a poll of people and you said, well, what would you rather share in a property? Would you rather share the kitchen or the bathroom? Everybody would say, I'll share the kitchen. I want my own bathroom. So by building a series of master suites, you're building a product that the market wants. There are also millions of Americans living on their parents' couch or in the parents' basement. So this is the pure solution to affordable housing. We are in the middle of an affordable housing crisis. The World Economic Forum projects that affordable housing, the crisis will double by 2030 in 5 years. So whenever you're building real estate or investing in affordable housing, you are going to get wealthy in this next run. This is the key to building wealth and staying wealthy, because everything's getting more expensive. Inflation keeps going up. Prices keep going up. As interest rates go down, prices are going to go higher because people are going to borrow the money. The money is going to be so cheap, it's going to inflate all these markets. The capital markets, all the asset prices are going to go up. So you want to be in this space. As things get more expensive, people need more affordable housing. Bottom line. So co-living, if you build it, they will come and you will get very wealthy. Another problem with co-living is management. It's something that you have to property manage yourself, or you need to know somebody like me who will do it for you and take care of the issues for you. But there are very few people who understand co-living. So a lot of property management companies won't do it for you because they don't know how to tenant it. They don't know how to manage it. They don't understand it. So that is a issue. But if it's something you're interested in, reach out, tap in, join the community, and learn more about it so that you can get started. But this strategy is so fresh, you could actually take it to your city, wherever you're watching from. You could take it to your city and run the play. I guarantee you there's no competition. No real competition to worry about. Guys, if you're getting value, like, comment, subscribe. Leave a comment that says I subscribe. Share the content with someone who you want to get value. If you're interested in our programs, just reach out. DM me CashFlow. DM me Boots on the Ground if you want me to find and build properties for you, rental properties or buy and flips. And if you want to join our next ride along, I would recommend getting your tickets sooner rather than later. I'll make them available. I'll start kind of putting a link out there. But the ride alongs, they all sell out. Every time people come out to the ride along too, they're always shocked by how many people are there. But it's like, I did 6 ride alongs last year. We had about 20 or 20 plus people every ride along. It's over 100 people from all over the country too. I think that is the Chantilly Prince. I see you said Boots on the Ground. DM me Boots on the Ground so that I have you. There's people from all over the country. Somebody flew in from California with their 7-year-old daughter, and she was fantastic on the tour. I thought I had some people fly in with like teenage daughters, and they're very disinterested in real estate for whatever reason. But the 7-year-old daughter was very interested. She was like learning the game. So that was fun. But from, California, I've had people flying from out of the country, Canada and thereabout, people flying in from down south, people coming in from New York, North Jersey. So we had a very diverse group. So it's amazing to see how dialed in some people are to real estate and getting results, and then people who can't even invest $27 on their education. It's also funny to have a $27 option, because then all the people who are like, I'm skeptical, the pricing, and people are trying to scam you, and it's like, bro, it's $27. Like you get in or you don't. I don't need the story. It's up to you. So it's good to have that option for the people. That is the dip your toe in test. There's literally nothing to lose, and you can write the $27 off on taxes. Not that it'll matter because it's $27. So if you're interested in that, reach out. Drop your questions in the chat. Let's keep flowing. Number 3, add other streams of income. So how can you add other streams of income? Well, if you have a garage on a rental property, keep it, especially if it's street facing, especially if it's in an inner city. That garage could be used by a mechanic. That garage could be used by a contractor. All these guys need storage space for their tools, for their equipment, for their machinery. They need storage space. Some people might have nice cars. They need storage space. There are different websites that you can go to rent out even like your garage or extra space. Keep it. Keep your you can go with coin operated laundry, right? If you have if you have a 3 family, a 4 family, you could put the coin operated in the basement. You can turn that into extra income, another stream. Um Adding the pet fee. If somebody has pets, I want to add that pet fee. I need an extra $50 a month for your dog. Add more income streams to your property. That's going to allow you to build more cash flow versus not doing it. It's very simple. You either have the coin operated or you don't. If you invest in it, you're going to get a return. If you don't, you won't. It's really that simple. So thinking outside of the box, renting out extra space, keeping space for yourself. A lot of the times on my properties, I'll keep the basement. Especially if the basement, like we're saying, is street facing or I can walk in, it has some type of walkout, that's storage for me. I'm building a bunch of houses. I'll load that thing up with lumber. I'll load that thing up with drywall. I'll load it up with screws and nails. I'll load it up with plumbing or electric materials because I don't want my guy standing at Home Depot waiting to get it. So I can now move faster. If I can move faster on rehabs, I can make more money. So utilizing your property to create additional income streams is huge. That's another way to really increase the rent on your portfolio. Just make more profit per deal. Number 4, highest and best use. You always have to think highest and best use for your rental properties. So when you're getting a property, I'm going to Section 8 it or government rent it. Everybody who's in like boots on the ground or who's been around us knows I'm always going to try to add a bedroom. I'm going to try to add whatever I can. Even at times adding a powder room to the first floor, adding an extra bathroom. These are value adds that give you a better, highest, and best use. So taking a 3-bed, 1-bath, turning it into a 4-bed, 1.5 bath, I now increase the bedrooms, and in affordable housing, you get paid by the bed. So going from a 3-bed to a 4-bed, increase my rent from $1,250 to $1,600. So I'm getting an extra $350 a month because I added that bedroom. I might have killed a dining room to add the bedroom. Adding a bedroom on the first floor it feels a little wonky until you think about it. Like, well, who would stay in this bedroom? I wouldn't want this. And it's like, well, you know how many aging parents stay with somebody? Do they do stairs? Do they do stairs well? No. Their knees are shot. They're done. So living on that first floor, having that bed in the back, maybe a bath in the back on the first floor, that gives you that in-law suite vibe. That's very important for a lot of families. Hell, when I was growing up, we were a little broker. So grandma slept in the living room. So when she went to sleep at 7, the TV was off. We had to deal with that. Wish we had the bed in the back in-law suite versus the cot in the living room. But, a lot of people they're living like this. So when you create that product, it puts them in a much better position. So always think highest and best use. Same thing with a flip. If you can add more value, killing a dining room on a flip, that might not make sense. That might not be the best and highest use. But on a flip, adding more bathrooms, adding a walk-in closet into the master bath or something like that, that's going to be a highest and best use of the space. Versus, oh, well, I'll just use this room as a laundry room. That's cool. Now they can wash their clothes on the 3rd floor. But I bet the wife wanted the walk-in closet. I bet that would have been a better use of this space to her. Especially today when you can order like laundry services, laundry pickup and deliveries and drop off services. They'll do your laundry, fold it, drop it off for $40. Best and highest use value. Always think in terms as a real estate developer of best and highest use. The best and highest use of one property may be, you know what, this is a 2-story. Let's blow the roof off, build up another level, convert it into a multifamily. That might be the best and highest use. So the better you can visualize the best and highest use, the more money you make in this business. You actually can outthink another developer. Therefore, you can outbid another developer and still make money. That's like the golden ticket to this game, and really to these 5 secrets. The reason I'm giving you these secrets is if you can make more cash flow per property than the competition, you can outbid them on deals and make more money because you'll see more money than they see. They're going to give up sooner than you. If you can visualize highest and best use on a flip, or even a buy and hold, even blowing off the roof or doing a single to multifamily conversion. If you can visualize these things, building an ADU, you can outbid the competition and make more money. If you can outbid the competition and make more money, then there is no competition in any market, no matter how hot it is, because there's never going to be a large volume of people thinking that far outside of the box. That's the reality. There's never going to be that many people thinking that far outside of the box for there to be market competition and pressure. So you have to educate. This is why your real estate education is so important. Your education is it's not a scam and it's not a game. Getting into this without education is playing a game. You're playing a very dangerous game, playing Russian roulette. Getting educated is very serious. You want to get educated in this space because mistakes can cost you lots of money. They could cost you $5,000. They could cost you $50,000. They could cost you $250,000, and you don't even need to have it. You could borrow $250,000 and blow it, and still owe it. So you have to be very conscious in this game. You have to know how to navigate, and don't take what I'm saying lightly because you're learning it for free. Do not take it lightly or as hogwash. I paid serious price for this information, very serious price over the course of a decade. Guys, if you're getting value, like, comment, subscribe. Leave a comment that says I subscribe. Share the content with someone who you want to get value. Don't be stingy with value. You have to pass value around. It's part of why I give a lot of the information away for free. Like I said, I'm not going to give it all away for free. And the most coveted playbooks we have in our community group, you can kind of tap in and dive into that. And as I told you, it's only $27 to join. But the reason I keep that price tag is because you got to get rid of the tire kickers. You got to keep them out of your community because they will bring your community down. Their frequency is a little too low. They don't believe in themselves, and they're going to reject and resent other people's self-belief. They're not at that level. The people who are like $27, let's rock and roll, even though it's a very small hurdle, it's just like, yo, you get in, you start to educate yourself, you start seeing other people are winning. It's not just Brian talking. Like, other people are doing this and winning. It's not just me who wins in real estate and then everybody comes to me. It's like, no, I'm building people up and they're winning. And when you start seeing that, you start stacking some wins. Somebody jumped in with a testimonial on our last live. They made $45,000 in 6 months with the knowledge. 45K part-time, and they were running mostly solo, just staying locked in, but running mostly solo. So if you have a decent level of competency, like, you can take this information and go very far. I am not the limit. You could do 1,000 deals, even though I did like 300 to 400 so far with this information. You could do 1,000, right? I'm not the limit, but definitely, tap in. But having that price tag, it's a fun price tag to me because I'm like, wow, $27. I didn't think that was enough to keep somebody out, but it's enough. It's enough to keep somebody on the sidelines. Let them keep watching. Let them keep trying to get the YouTube University education. You'll leapfrog them. By the time they get a deal, you'll have 20. And there's no competition. All the price shopping YouTubers, YouTube University people, they're no competition to us. They're of no concern. They're not even a blip on the radar. If I'm being honest, they're not even a blip on the radar. And it's wonderful. That's why I don't worry about it. You guys don't get to see that. It's worth talking about. You guys don't get to see how many people have self-doubt, self-belief, a lack of self-belief. They're not focused. I see it all the time, and they're old, dude. They're not. I'm not talking about the 22-year-olds. A lot of the 22-year-olds are locked in. I'm talking about the 35, 45-year-olds, 50-year-olds. They're lost, and they still think it's a game, and they're running out of time. They're running out of time like a mug. Like, bro, you're 52 talking about, is the $27 a scam? Like, you're done. You need to go get scammed for $27 and get educated. If it is a scam, you need to be taking those types of bets right now. That's a very low hedge, because if you do mess around and get educated, at least you'll have a chance to get out of the rat race in a 9 to 5. But it's crazy. You guys don't see it. So you think there's competition out there. There ain't no competition. If you lock in, there is no competition. These people are so distracted. Yeah, everybody knows you can make money in real estate, but these people they're not focused. They're not focused at all. They're of no concern to me, and therefore they should be of no concern to you. But I see it every day. I get 100. I get five. I not 500. I get about 200 to 250 DMs a day from people interested in real estate investing. 1% of people are ready. 1% of people take action. And out of that 1%, we're the 1% of that 1% that actually goes like further and goes harder. Out of that 1% of people who are interested in real estate investing, who actually take the leap, there's still a tier, maybe another top 5% of that 1% that operates at the level that we're teaching you how to operate at. So if I teach you all of this, you think I'm teaching you like, let me teach these guys this, and then I'm gonna keep this over here for me. If you've been around long enough, you would know I'm not even of that mindset. That's why I have this much knowledge. The knowledge is bestowed because the universe knows I'm not going to keep it. The universe knows I'm going to give it. But I can only, the fun part is I can only give it to those who are ready for it anyway. But you take this type of knowledge and run, you're running at a top 5% knowledge and execution and strategy level. There's not really competition. There's not competition. Ain't no damn competition out here. Let's get into the last one. Rent to own. So this is a good strategy. Like this is, let's say I had a flip deal. I was going to flip this thing. The flip flopped. And now I'm looking at it. It's kind of like a break-even deal. What do I do with it? Rent to own it. See, this game is about arbitrage and thinking outside of the box. I'm going to take this property and I'm going to rent to own it to somebody who has jacked credit, but a lot of cash, meaning a business owner, somebody who knows how to make money. Trust me, I've met people because I used to manage money for millionaires. I know guys, not like they're my buddies or anything, but I know guys who are like, they know how to make money. This guy, he had a business, the business blew up. Then he opened a string of pawn shops. He got 10 pawn shops now. He's bringing in $150,000 a month. And you're like, yo, who is this dude? But his credit's jacked because he did bankruptcy on that last business. But they're business people. There's a lot of people out there with more money than credit. You come, 10% down, they come through at 20 G's on your rental property. Down 20 G's, 22 G's, because they were going to give the bank 10% down if the bank would have even taken it. But the bank won't even take it. Help them out with some credit, credit coaching, basic stuff. They pay a premium rent. If the rent is $1,500 market, they're paying $2,000 a month. So you're getting premium cash flow. And then you set a sales price on the property. Buy it, just, rent to own it. So you rent it from me with the option to buy it within the next 3 years. You got to buy it at this price. You set a nice price that's inflated. We figure the market in Philly is going up about 10% per year. We're going to give you a discount. We're going to, inflate it by 7.5% a year. This is worth $250 right now, times 1.07 times 1.07 compound interest. That's the sales price if you buy it from me in 3 years. So you're getting a lump sum down, 20 bands in your pocket. Give me that. Then 2,000 instead of 1,500, extra 500 a month. I'll take it. I'll take the extra cash flow in year one. And then a nice ticket on the back end. And I'll just walk from this deal. I'll go build some more rental properties. Don't fall in love in the club and don't fall in love in the real estate game. Those are the two rules. There's no crying in baseball, and you don't fall in love with a deal in real estate. That's the real estate version of there's no crying in baseball. You don't fall in love with a deal. Do the deal, navigate the deal, and if there's a good way to structure it, if there's a different highest and best use to your wallet, then you restructure the deal to be more profitable. Right? You navigate it. You get a real estate attorney to draft the contract because it's cheaper to pay the attorney up front than it is to pay him on the back end. If I pay an attorney to draft a good contract, I got to pay him $2,000, and I don't even have to pay him that. Maybe you pay him 500, but for my attorneys, they're not that cheap. I figure I'll pay them about $2,000. Maybe I'll pay them like 1,600. If they have to go to court to fight some shit, I'm paying them 25,000 a quarter, right? Like it's bigger money. You could pay them 250,000 to defend you in something. So you have to you want to pay up front. This is a warning. This is good advice, quite frankly, guys. Some of you will live long enough to see it and say, "Well, he did tell me that. I probably should have listened." If you take me up on that advice I just gave you, I'll save you $250,000 at some point in your real estate career. I'll save you a lot of money just by paying up front, being strategic, being smart, being intelligent. Don't be penny wise, pound foolish. So this is a good strategy. Not a lot of people know a lot about is that rent to own strategy. Somebody said, "What is the topic of this live?" It's the top five landlord secrets to double your rental income as a real estate investor. Real estate is full of audibles. It is full of audibles. Real estate is full of audibles. Real estate is not the 400-meter sprints. It's the 400-meter hurdle. 400-meter hurdles. They're going to throw some hurdles at you. You got to jump over them. And you got to look cool while you're doing it. You got to pose while you're doing it too. You got to style on it. You have to expect it. Real estate is to be respected, not feared. If you fear real estate, wrong energy. Respect it. Have respect for real estate. A lot of people they don't fear real estate. They fear getting burned. I fear getting scammed on real estate mentorship. And they don't really respect the real estate. So then they just take 10 grand and run out in the game and blow it. And then blow it. With 10 grand, you need more education than somebody with 100K. You need, I repeat, with 10 grand, if you're starting with less money, you need education way more than somebody with more money than you, because they can afford to make the mistakes and you can't. This is not your option or choice to not get educated. No, I'm smart. I'm going to just take my money and just put it in the game. Okay. What would you want somebody like me to tell you about that idea? Somebody who's made over $500,000 worth of mistakes to figure it out on their own, and who's probably not in a condescending way, but in some ways is as smart as you, maybe smarter in certain ways. There are certain people that are smarter than me in certain ways. Even though I'm a highly intelligent person, they may have a different thing that they're smarter in. They may have a higher social IQ. They may have certain aspects to them that are more intelligent. But as a person who's highly intelligent and in a analytical, mathematical way, highly intelligent, if I can make that many mistakes, what the hell on earth makes you think you won't? What arrogance? What arrogance? How arrogant of you to think that. And you know what real estate punishes? Arrogance. I don't need to punish your arrogance. The real estate gods will. The real estate market will punish you for being arrogant. It will punish you. It will. And it does every day, and it doesn't care. You're not smarter. You're not special. You're not the lucky one. You're just the next one to bump their head, thinking they were too cool for school, too smart. So beware of your own arrogance within the game as well. It can punish you, and you will be punished for it. You'll be punished for arrogance. You'll also be punished for being too afraid, too emotional with the real estate. It's not the emotional game either. It's just a hurdle. You just need to navigate it. You're either going to jump over the hurdle or go around it. You are not going to, or you can smash through it if you have enough momentum. But if you smash through too many hurdles, you're going to trip and fall. So you're much better jumping over them or going around them. You're much better. And that's the game. It's just that's what real estate education is, and mentorship. It's not here's the problem. People think real estate mentorship is like, I'm going to give you the cheat code that nobody, it's not all about that. It is, there is education that people don't know, but it's not that nobody knows it. That would be a lie. Real estate's been around too long for anyone to not, there's nothing new under the sun. Real estate's been around way too long for that, right? So what the education is about, what the mentorship is about, is teaching you how to navigate problems, how to think your way through problems, how to get outside of issues, giving you resources and relationships and connections so that you can navigate better. You can certainly navigate a deal better with a architect, just like you could navigate a boat better with a map. And I forget what those things are called that like give you the north south, like a compass. Just like you can navigate better with a compass, you will navigate better with a legitimate real estate education, access to someone who's been there, done that, who can not only tell you what to do and how to navigate it, but then give you the relationships, or call this person, do this, do that, ask them this, ask them that. That's more what mentorship is about. And people just don't seem to understand that. That's why they're like so afraid. Uh, I'm going to get scammed. You can't get scammed by having access to navigation in such a dangerous industry. You can make a lot of money in this industry, which means you can also lose a lot of money. There's a risk reward profile to everything. So, you just got to, you just have to educate yourself. However you do it. I don't care if you're self-education type of person, but if you want to go faster, definitely learn from people who are doing it. I did. I usually invest about 10% of my income into my education annually. I got to keep learning, and I don't got time to waste. The last decade flew by. The next one will fly by. What are you waiting for? Are you waiting to make more money? Are you waiting to get ahead? Why are you waiting? What advantage is there of waiting? Next steps. So you want to get results. Next steps, I would say, is join a community. Doesn't have to be my community either. I don't care. I'm happy to help you, but I don't, go find your own as well. But join a community, get around other people who are investors, because that's a good way to accelerate. That's what I did. Well, it's not that I did it. I was lucky because my buddy was also investing. He was investing before me. He kind of pulled me into it. But we would just always talk about real estate, always talk about real estate. So it was like that. My brother was doing his thing, but also interested in finance as well. So now the people around me were talking about real estate all the time. So I had my little community. I had a mentor who was in real estate. So I built out that relationship because I had good mentors from Columbia. So having a community is important. People you can talk to, bounce ideas off of. Join a community of real estate investors. If you want to join ours, tap in $27, click the link in the description, or DM me CashFlow. Join our community. We're happy to help you, but get around other people because you need to see people winning. I got to see my mentor when I was a young, I'm 23, 24. I'm looking at my mentor bringing in, he was probably, knowing what I know, he's bringing in probably, 50, 100,000 a month. And he's young, he's only maybe 10 years my senior. So I'm looking at him at 23, 24, at a 34, 35-year-old dude who's bringing in 100 a month. Black dude. So I'm like, damn, this is possible. I got to figure this thing out. I didn't have the fear. I just knew I needed to figure out what to do because I was already seeing the result. I was seeing the end game. And being able to see is being able to believe. And that's why you need to be in a community, because you need to see other people winning and multiple people winning at times so that you believe you can win too. A lot of your problem is you're just not part of a community. Number 2, pick a strategy. Pick a strategy. Are you going to buy and hold, or are you going to flip? Where are you going to do it? What city? In town, out of town? Why? What part of the city? What types of property? Single or multi? Start getting specific. Pick a strategy. How are you going to get results? A lot of people say, Brian, I joined another course, but I didn't get results. Well, I start asking them some questions. Well, what actions did you take? What did you do here? They didn't take any action. They never picked a strategy. They never even narrowed it down enough to apply pressure to get a result. You can't punch thin air, guys. You have to create a target. You have to say, I'm going to do this. I want to go Section 8, Baltimore. I want to be next to John Hopkins Hospital. I want to buy them in this range. I want to buy them from the auction. I want to get this many. I'm going to fund them with these types of people. You start getting specific. Now you can hit that target. Now you can attack that target. That target is not pie in the sky. That's a real target. Now I got to find some contractors. Okay, cool. Do this, do this. You can start chipping away. And now you start getting traction. You get traction with momentum and focus and applied pressure. It's not difficult. It's applied pressure. It's not difficult, guys. The only question is, are you going to apply pressure? Are you going to stop procrastinating and pretending that you're doing something? A lot of people, they'll get in, they'll get in I got in real estate. I got my LLC. I got this. I got that. Cool. I just want to see if I can get in front of a motivated seller, get a deal, get an off-market deal. I want to wholesale. Okay, cool. But do you even know how to talk to a motivated seller yet? You so worried about how do people get on the phone with motivated sellers? You're a dog chasing a car. If you caught that car, you wouldn't know what to do with it. If I put you on the phone tomorrow with a motivated seller, you wouldn't even know how to have the conversation. You're not educated enough to be an authority, and you need to be an authority in this business if you want to be successful. Not that you won't have success as a non-authority, because here's how things work in a sales arena. On a bell curve distribution, out of 10 people you talk to, and maybe you can magnify this to 100 for a good sample size, but out of 10 people you talk to, 2 people are going to be ready to do business no matter what you say, no matter how bad you suck or how good you are. 2 people are going to be ready to do business. 2 people will never do business, no matter how good you are or how much you suck or what you say. And there's the 6 in the middle that you need to be able to nurture. You need to have education to be able to get them from point A to point B, to be able to take them through a journey. And if you're uneducated, you just can't do that. You will get the 2 sales on the front end, but you won't get 5 of them. You won't get 5 of them. When you can get 5 of them, you can become profitable enough to stick around. And if you stick around long enough, you make more money. It's a game of attrition. And this all starts with picking a strategy, getting specific. Once you get specific, you have a target, you can hit a target. A strategy is a target. It really is. At the end of the day, it's just a target. Now I know what I'm going to do. Now I can apply pressure in areas where I'm weak and strengthen my strategy, get more information, talk to the eviction attorney, talk to the architect, the engineer, talk to some contractors, talk to some other local investors, talk to some lenders, talk to some property managers, talk to some realtors, talk to some wholesalers. Pick a strategy. I want to wholesale. What are you going to do? Bandit signs, YouTube, Instagram ads, Facebook ads. Are you going to cold call? Are you going to blast text? Are you going to direct mail? Are you going to door knock? What are you going to do? Pick a strategy. I want to do the Instagram and Facebook. Okay, let's get those ads set up. Let's create a marketing spend. Let's dial in those ads into the target market. Let's run a market test. Let's let the algorithm tweak itself with the pixel. Start locking in. Like you start to attack whatever that strategy is. Get a lead, call them, tighten up your phone call, tighten up your contracts, talk to the real estate attorney, get your first deal done, make 20K, make 10K, make 5K, make 3K, whatever. But you got it done. Whatever you did to do the first deal, do it again, do it again, do it again. It's the power of one. You only need to prove that real estate works once. Once you prove that to yourself, the question goes away. Does this work? Will this work? All these doubts, all this chatter. Pick a strategy. Start small. Last one. Just start small. Stop trying to start so damn big. Knock it off because it doesn't matter. Nobody cares. Nobody's watching you. People are so selfish. They could care less if you win or lose. A lot of people are afraid of what others will think. They're not thinking about you. They don't care. They're selfish. They're self-centered and self-focused. Nobody cares if you win or lose. That's the truth. Don't try to start big for anyone else. And you don't need to start big to get big because the growth is exponential, not in a straight line. Even though the human brain is wired to think linearly, to think if I do one deal in the first 6 months, then by the end of the year I'll have two. Then in 2 years I'll have four properties. Just keep doing a deal every 6 months, and then how it works in reality is you do a deal in the first 6 months, and you're like, cool. Then you do two in the next 4 months, and you're like, oh, I kind of accelerated a little bit there. Then you do four at once. Then you do eight at once. And you look up and your original goal was obliterated. You're like, I had a 10-year plan, but it didn't, but you started small. And starting small, you're able to make small mistakes. You're able to make a mistake. That was a small mistake. You try to start on a commercial deal, it's a big mistake. It's $100,000 mistake instead of a 10K mistake. Some things aren't mistakes either. Some things are just like, hey, the city was coming by and they were checking their water pipes and they noticed there was a leak in your sewer line, so they just capped it. Like, they just capped my shit. Like, yeah, it's gonna cost on a commercial building, that's gonna cost $20,000 to correct because we got to get the commercial permits, we got to get the street closing, we got to get and you're like, wait, 25,000. I didn't know I was getting myself into that by going commercial on my first deal. Well, you should have started small. Do that on the single family. It's a $3,000, $4,000 problem. It's not going to feel good, but it'll allow you to factor in and navigate and course correct, or at least understand that these possibilities exist within the space and to plan better. Starting small is very important because you will pick up momentum. You will be better in the future than you are today. You will have more capital in the future than you do today. You'll be able to scale. You'll be able to grow. You'll be able to get where you want to go. You're not going to run out of time. This isn't a time game. This is a leverage game. This is a can you build 10 houses at once game. And I'm here to tell you, you could build 50 at once. So it doesn't matter. What matters is that you understand how to build one house perfectly. Not that the deal goes perfectly, but that you understand what perfection is and how it can be achieved or how you can get closer to it. If you just learn how to do that, then doing it more is just a matter of systems and leverage to do more than one at once. Because that ability exists and infinite leverage exists in this space, there are really infinite lenders in this space. There's so many lenders that there's private lenders that just pop up out of nowhere. Because they see me talking about this stuff, they reach out to me first, and then I bring them to the community. But private lenders, hard money lenders, construction lenders, credit unions, there's like 20 different types of real estate lenders that I can even think of. Just like types of lenders, not individual lenders within that type, but just categories of lenders. There's like 20 of them. It's ridiculous. So start small. It's the easiest way to get big and get to the next level. So that's what you want to do on your next steps. If you want to start getting results, and I would do them in that order, join a community because you need it. You need the network, you need the resources. And I've seen the community aspect is even shocking me because there's more community available even to myself today than I had when I was getting started. Because I talked to so many people about real estate, there's a good aspect to the community. So being a part of it, it gives you a competitive edge that I didn't have. So I would definitely join a community. I would pick a strategy. If you don't know a strategy to pick, start learning more about strategies. DM me CashFlow. Get into the community. Get access to the course content to our school. Click the link in the description on YouTube. Get access. Pick a strategy, whether that's a no cash, no credit strategy, lease purchase options, things of the sort, subject to that type of stuff. Whether that's a buy and flip strategy, whether that's a buy and hold strategy, whether that's Section 8, co-living, room rentals, market rentals, short-term rentals, midterm rentals, renting the traveling nurses, renting the corporations who ship in workers to build on commercial buildings, guys who are on a 6-month contract, getting tapped in there. Whatever that strategy is, pick a strategy. Once you pick the strategy, you can get the results. And then, damn it, start small. Start small is probably the best thing I told you today. If you stick to that principle of starting small, you will be more successful. You will be more successful. Even a Grant Cardone will tell you, "Oh, the worst thing I ever did, I bought a single family, and blah, blah, blah." He started small still. What he's discounting is the complete education that he got from that single family. He's discounting the fact that some of the biggest hedge funds in the world with quants that are certainly smarter than him, me, and probably everybody watching this, um, they're buying single family for a reason across the country. There's a lot of value there, but not everybody knows how to navigate it. But he still started there, and you can build your education there and scale to wherever you want, whether that's commercial, ground up. I believe I mean, you could go straight ground up, but it'd probably be better to do like a cosmetic rehab versus a ground up deal on your first deal. A safer environment to play in. So that's my best advice, guys. If you have any questions, drop them in the chat, drop them in the comment section. Let me see. Somebody said, "What is the boots on the ground program, and what are your thoughts on buying vacant lots or land?" Um, the boots on the ground program is where we find, finance, rehab, tenant, and manage properties for our clients. So we'll have people from all over the country. There might be somebody like they're in California, and they're priced out. They want to invest out of state somewhere cheaper. So we will find them a deal in Philly. We're going to expand to some other cities, but we'll find them like a deal in Philly, and something that can build cash flow, and we can find it, connect you with the lenders to finance it. And then we have the construction crews to rehab it, and then we'll tenant and manage it. So it gives you a turnkey solution where you can make it mailbox money. Mailbox money is some of the funnest money in real estate. It really is. And I set it up so like even all rent payments just go direct deposit to you, right? Like it just goes straight to you. So it sets you up for that real mailbox money feel where the phone rings, you don't answer it, and you check the account. And especially if you're something like Section 8, if they're paying 90, 100%, they're just direct depositing straight into your account. Yeah, you're in St. Louis. St. Louis is a good it's a good market. Would I buy vacant lots or land in St. Louis? I would buy multifamily zoned vacant land and lots in St. Louis. That's what I would do. Because that land, as the city goes up, it's on the top 10 for cash flowing cities. Would I run there? No. One, because I have really good connections where I'm at. Two, because I've heard things about kind of maybe like, I'll call it like navigation hurdles. Every city presents itself with different hurdles for navigating construction, building a house, getting from point A to point Z. And I've seen some hurdles on some other people's projects, which is also one of the benefits of really me mentoring people, because I see so many scenarios, and I have a hand in so many things that it's like my iterations and education is faster. It's more accelerated. But I see things like this. So it's like I see people running into issues with getting licensing, permits, rental licenses, And just how the city responds, it's like, I don't know that I would scale that. When I'm thinking about investing, I'm always thinking about scale. I'm never thinking about, can I do a couple of deals? I'm thinking, could I do 100? Could I do 200? And how difficult would it be? And if the city I know is like difficult to deal with, I don't want to scale there, even for that reason, because it's just more of a headache. So that's kind of more of a navigation thing. But if I was buying land or vacant lots in St. Louis, it would be multifamily zoned. So as the community in different areas appreciate, I can unlock that value and go multifamily. The BT, what they call the BTR method, which is the build to rent, build ground up to rent, which is not a bad. It's not a bad method. Not a bad method. Maybe we'll talk about it. We'll do a BTR session. So guys, looks like we're all tapped out of questions. Hope that helped. We're gonna be doing a session on Wednesday night, inner circle call. Actually, that call, I'll shoot out an email. That might get moved to Thursday, the inner circle. But we're gonna be doing a call either Wednesday or Thursday night for our inner circle people, for our group members. If you want to tap in your own IG, click the link in bio or DM me CashFlow. I'll send you a link to tap in. It's $27. If you're on YouTube, you can click the link in the description and tap in. And we'll see everybody on the inner circle call, which it's a private Zoom call. We don't do those live, but those do get recorded and made available in a mastermind called Volt. So, and those go a little bit more high level because we're talking about like active live deals and all types of issues that are happening right now. So the knowledge is super accelerated. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys on the next one.